A plan is underway to unveil more national parks near big cities. A half dozen are expected by next year. Here's CTV's Garrett Barry on connecting Canada's urban centres to the great outdoors.
Where downhill adrenaline and whale watching mix. Welcome to White Hills in St. John's, home to a network of volunteer-made bike trails and maybe part of Canada's next national park.
Come down, and if you're time it right, you know, there's icebergs off in the distance, there's a whale breaching or spray, you know, you've got a cruise ship coming in. Like, it is absolutely stunning.
The federal environment minister was in town this week to sign a so-called statement of collaboration, working with the city towards the creation of a national urban park.
These urban park sanctuaries provide critical habitat for wildlife.
It's a relatively new type of designation. The first, the Rouge National Urban Park in Ontario, was a series of municipal, then provincial protected areas, eventually amalgamated under Parks Canada in 2015. And it has everything you might expect from a national park: hiking and walking trails, guided tours, a beach, and the only campsite within the boundaries of the city of Toronto. The allure, of course, it's so close to the city, you can get there in less than an hour from Toronto's Union Station. There's proposals in Victoria, Edmonton, Windsor, and Halifax. It's become clear that each of them will offer something a bit different. But the key, they'll be close to bigger cities where many people live. Government says that will help people see themselves as part of nature, not separate from it. Volunteers who've been working in the Rouge Valley for decades say their experience has been mixed, an expansion of land and infrastructure, but there's also some concern about the ecological preservation.
Now that the federal government is there, it's a very rigid process, and they don't need as much help from their local communities.
For Churchill, it's a possibility to ensure these volunteer-made trails are professionalized.
We're coming out on a weekly basis to try and keep up with the maintenance, and demand has really just exploded to the point where we are really struggling to keep up. So, you know, keep getting the trails back to that standard.
And protected, under the guarantee that a national park might offer. Garrett Barry, CTV News, St. John's.